All right, let's get into it. We're about to unpack some really cool, research-backed psychological facts that can genuinely make your day-to-day life just a little bit easier. Let's dive in.
I mean, seriously, who hasn't? That little instruction manual for handling those tricky conversations, or motivating yourself, or just, understanding why people do the things they do. I think we've all been there. And that's exactly what we're going to explore. We've kind of distilled all the science down into a practical toolkit. First, we'll start with how we can better understand and connect with the world, and of course, the people all around us.
So first up, let's look at the tools for really upgrading your social interactions. These are simple, super subtle techniques that can have a huge, huge impact on how others see you and respond to you.
Now, this isn't about being a copycat. It's much more subtle. It's about, say, gently adopting someone's posture. If they lean in, you lean in a little bit. Or maybe using a word they use a lot. Subconsciously, this sends this incredibly powerful signal that says, hey, I get you. We're on the same wavelength. It just makes people feel super comfortable and connected to you, almost instantly.
Okay, this one is all about giving people a sense of control. So instead of just barking a command that's probably going to get some resistance, you offer two choices. And here's the clever part. Both choices lead to the outcome you want. The other person feels empowered because, hey, they're making the decision, right? But you're the one who framed the options. You see this everywhere, from dealing with kids to managing colleagues.
Oh boy, we have all been here. You're in a conversation, maybe it's a meeting, maybe it's a family thing, and you can just feel the air getting thick. You know an argument is just simmering right below the surface. So what do?
Yep, you heard that right. Seriously, it sounds almost ridiculously simple, but there's real psychology behind it. See, eating is a naturally calming activity. It is physically very, very difficult to be angry or aggressive while you're chewing. The act of sharing food just creates a more relaxed, less confrontational vibe. Even offering something small can completely change the tone of the room.
This might just be one of the most powerful and underused tools in our communication toolbox. Think about it. A person's name is so deeply tied to who they are. When you use it in conversation, it's like a little notification that says, I see you. I acknowledge you. People immediately feel more valued, and they'll naturally feel more comfortable and engaged with you. It's a small thing with a massive payoff.
This is such a powerful technique if you want to get more information without seeming pushy at all. So after someone answers your question, just wait, hold that space, keep eye contact, nod a little bit, and just stay quiet. Most people find that conversational silence a little bit uncomfortable, so they'll naturally start talking again just to fill it, and they'll often reveal way more than they originally planned to.
And that quote from the Dalai Lama is the perfect setup for this next idea. If you really want to make a fantastic impression on someone, just ask them about a topic they are passionate about, and then just shut up and listen. Let them teach you. This makes them feel smart, it makes them feel interesting, and it makes them feel valued. And guess what? When you make someone feel good about themselves, they naturally feel pretty good about you too.
Okay, so we've covered some awesome tools for interacting with other people. Now let's turn the focus inward and look at a few hacks for understanding and managing our own minds a little more effectively.
First things first, let's bust a huge myth. You've probably heard it a million times. It takes 21 days to form a new habit. Well, the actual research from neuroscience shows that on average, it's closer to 66 days. And just knowing this is so important because it helps you set realistic expectations for yourself.
So, let's break down this journey. Those first 3 weeks or so, they're going to feel awkward. It's going to feel forced. Then you hit the next 3 weeks, and this is where most people give up because the resistance is at its absolute peak. But if you can just push through that to the final phase, that's when you start to build real momentum. The habit starts to lock in and finally becomes an automatic part of your day.
Okay, this is absolutely fascinating. We all know that music can change our mood, right? But it actually goes way deeper than that. This principle, perceptual expectation, basically means that what you hear actually primes your brain for what you're about to see. In other words, what you listen to can literally change what you see.
Check this out. A 2011 study proved this perfectly. Researchers had people listen to happy music, and those people were way more likely to identify a neutral face as being happy. But when they listened to sad music, they saw that exact same face as sad. Just think about that for a second. The soundtrack you choose for your life is literally coloring how you perceive the world around you. All right, let's just rip the Band-Aid off here. As much as we all love to think we can juggle a bunch of complicated tasks at once, our brains are fundamentally built for one thing at a time. I mean, sure, we can do automatic things like walk and talk, but we can't do two things that both require real focus.
So what feels like multitasking, texting while you're trying to watch a show, is actually just your brain rapidly switching its focus back and forth. It's like a spotlight, jumping from one thing to another. And this constant switching is super inefficient, it drains your mental energy, and it makes you way more likely to make mistakes. So the real pro tip here is to just focus on one thing at a time.
So here's the funny thing our brains do. This chart shows what's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's this weird paradox where people who have a very low ability at something often overestimate how good they are. But on the flip side, true experts tend to underestimate their own skills because they're so aware of how much they still don't know. It's a pretty powerful reminder to always stay humble and just keep on learning.
Need a quick mental reset? Here are 2 super simple, science-backed ways to do it. First, sing. Even if you're totally off-key in your car, singing releases oxytocin, which is great for reducing stress. Second, get just 10 minutes of direct sunlight. This helps your body produce vitamin D, which is a natural mood stabilizer. Both are quick, easy, and they really, really work. So there you have it, your very own psychological toolkit. We've talked about tools for building better connections with other people, and we've talked about tools for better understanding and managing your own mind. These aren't just, interesting little facts. They're actual, actionable strategies you can use.
But look, knowing this stuff is one thing. The real magic happens when you actually use it. So, think about it. Which one are you going to try first? Will you start using people's names more often? Or maybe be a little more patient with that new habit you're trying to build? The choice is all yours. Thanks for tuning in.